After years developing a site, recruiting a major tenant, and building a complex of buildings, a new type of manufacturing in the Piedmont Triad is about to reach a major symbolic milestone. Toyota Battery Manufacturing North Carolina is about 12 hours away from what it calls a line-off ceremony here at its 1,800-acre complex in the Greensboro-Randolph megasite near the town of Liberty in Randolph County. It'll be a celebratory event signaling the successful launch of a new production line and the transition from construction to full operation. The governor, Toyota's top executive in North America, and plenty of local dignitaries are expected to be on site, celebrating, among other things, the fact Toyota's invested nearly $14 billion here in the Piedmont Triad to build lithium-ion batteries for its electric vehicles. Good evening. This is the Fox 8 10 o'clock news. I'm Neil McNeil.
And I'm Katie Nordine. So far, it's led to 1,200 hires in 2024, with Toyota planning to hire 5,100 employees by the time it's fully operational in 2030. Now, needless to say, this is having a major impact on the town of Liberty. Its current population's 2,600 people, but that could double or even triple in the next 5 years. Fox 8's Justin Lundy joining us now live in Liberty after speaking with local business owners. So, Justin.
But before we get the report from on the ground, this is big news for this whole area, whether it's whether you say Triad, Gifford County, for this whole area. This is in Liberty, as they were saying, but it's going to be people who are traveling from all over this area to this location for employment, and it was huge when Toyota first gave their plans to come here, because you have a lot of hardworking individuals that live in this state with multiple skill sets, and it's plenty of land here for sure. I see more and more companies coming here, whether it's they're bringing their plants, their distribution warehouses, whether they're bringing their corporate headquarters. So North Carolina is going to continue to grow in that nature because we have plenty of space for these companies to come, and we have plenty of employees for these companies to employ. So it's I've been living here my whole life in North Carolina, and I do know that depending on where you live, it's a very quiet state, and even if you don't live in some of those major cities like Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, even if you don't live in some of these major cities, there's always neighborhoods and suburbs, towns and cities on the outskirts of these places that you can live a great life, a quiet life, and compared to other cities and states in the United States, is quite affordable to live here. We don't really have too robust of a transportation system, but we have buses, we have rideshare, of course, and I'm sure Waymo will start making this footprint even more in this area, and also once Tesla gets their robotic cars, their automatic taxis going, this will be a great state to actually launch that in, and possibly have their own warehouse here and things of that nature, or manufacturing facility. So I do see over the next decade or so a lot of growth here in North Carolina. We've already seen growth here in North Carolina with several companies making their way here, and yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be in North Carolina or invest in North Carolina, because of all those things that I have just named. Mainly because, like I said, the cost of living is affordable, especially if you have a great job, if you have a family and y'all have combined incomes, if you're a high earner, this and that and the third. This is a great place to come. Get a home, build a home, apartment, whatever whatever's in your budget, and be able to save and sit back, invest, and just try to find opportunities to grow. So, this is great news again for, North Carolina. And when companies do this, other companies see this, and then they want to come and they try to emulate it. And then, did, you just never know. So it just depends on, like I said, what you're into. And you just have to know that if you're coming from a place that's fast paced, and you're used to a certain thing, when you come here, you have to understand it's going to be a lot slower pace. It's a whole lot quieter than these other places too. And typically, people don't bother you if you don't bother them and things like that. Of course, it's Southern hospitality here. The weather is very mild, so it gets hot, but never too hot, and it gets cold, but never too cold. You might have snow in like the wintry months. You might not have snow. Um, of course, we get rain like any place that normally gets rain. Sometimes we get hit by hurricanes and maybe tornadoes here and there. But overall, the weather is very mild, it's very ideal. And this is definitely a great state, to whether you want to plant your flag here and raise your family, or whether you're a business and you're looking for a new place to have your headquarters, or have your manufacturing plants, or have your warehouses. This is a great state for all of those things.
And how are they feeling tonight?
Well, folks who live in Liberty and nearby are pretty excited about the battery plant because they've seen new neighbors, new customers, and also an increase in revenue for surrounding businesses. Changing not only the landscape, but the livelihoods of many people who live and work in Liberty. After breaking ground in 2021, production is finally set to begin at this Toyota battery plant. Joseph Schaefer says he's a heavy equipment operator who has worked on the project for the past 4 years.
26 million cubic yards of dirt was moved during the whole project, which is something you don't see every day.
Schaefer says being a part of the project has changed his life for the better.
Megasite's been great for me and my family. It's provided a lot of opportunities for us. We've benefited from it. I've enjoyed watching the project from where it was 3 years ago to where it is now.
But it's not just Liberty benefiting from the arrival of the battery plant. It's neighboring communities like Julian. Renee, who is a store clerk at Julian Trading Post, says she's seen significant increase in customers.
It's been interesting seeing the different faces move through here. So you get kind of used to some of them, and they move down the road.
And more customers means more revenue.
On our trucks, prior to Toyota being here, they would be a $5,000 or $6,000 truck. Now we're looking at $19,000 to $25,000 a week.
Just down the road, the owner of Brady Automotive says they were skeptical of the battery plant at first, until they witnessed its impact.
Originally, we were against it just because this is a hometown. It's a small, everybody knows everybody, blah, blah, blah. But since meeting some of the guys, the construction guys, and meeting, some of the Toyota guys, growth is inevitable. But
So that's one thing about North Carolinians, especially those in small towns. They, used to certain ways of living and how they, things of the past and stuff like that. So, a lot of times you have certain citizens who are definitely skeptical at first, but you have to open your mind. You have to think outside the box. You have to see like the bigger picture, and see how bringing in certain people. Hopefully they're good people, of course, because they're trying to work and they're employed. That increases the spending within your area. So, little restaurants, mom and pop stores, and things like that can see an uptick in their revenue because these people are going to need a place to go eat for lunch. Everyone's not going to bring their lunch. These convenience stores. People are going to stop for gas and little convenience items and stuff like that. So all around, it can help increase economic growth, even in these little small areas. So, it's going to be pros and it's going to be cons, and we definitely praying that the pros outweigh the cons. So,
again, it's fed my family, it's fed my guys.
Governor Josh Stein is expected to attend the Toyota battery plant line-off ceremony, which begins tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Reporting live in Liberty, Justin Lundy, Fox 8 News.
So yeah, I just wanted to drop some good news that's going on here in North Carolina, because recently it definitely been having to put stories out that have been happening that have not been on the the positive side, but this is a positive here. This Toyota battery plant to where they can start um creating, of course, their main goal of creating batteries and stuff like that. But not only that, it could expand to, bringing in and creating, the full Toyotas, or, anything else that Toyota has, in their plans to create. They can see how this is going to work, and then they can plan to scale up and, hire more people, especially like engineers and things of that nature. So, just wanted to report on something good that's going on here around the state. And if you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.